Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. We're going back in once again with our Simic clone deck, which has lots of biogenic oozes and lots of other Simic flavoured things. So, without further ado, let's get into the games and have the slime of our life. Okay, we're in and on the play. Let's have a look-see at this wonderful hand. It's not so wonderful, but maybe I can take it. It's turn 2 Druid. Into turn 3, not much, but we could probably draw something. I'm going to keep it. It does need a little bit of help off the top, but it's not the worst hand in the world. I guess we'll have to see what we're up against. Aggro, we might have a bit of problems with. Godless Shrine? Maybe not. Well, I'm just going to go land, Druid. Drawing another land wasn't exactly ideal. Esper Control? Ugh. I definitely don't think we've got much of a good matchup anymore. Goodbye, Ooze. Goodbye. Well, we only had 4 mana anyway, so drawing a Chemisters was very nice there. So just pass the turn. Plan on using Chemisters here. So just tap land and go. Discovery. Alright, well. Let's Chemisters now. Growth Spiral and Quasi-Duplicate. Right. So we've got a bit of ramp. More Quasi-Duplicates, okay. Well, could do Growth Spiral into Chemisters. That kind of works. We'll just do Growth Spiral now. See what we get. Yeah. More lands, less than ideal, but here we are. And the likelihood is we probably don't need this Root Snare. So let's just see what they go with first. We want to wait until they Thought Erasure us first because our hand is garbage. And there's nothing they could possibly take that we care about. So yeah, they're just going to take Quasi-Duplicate. And we're going to be all the happier for it. And a Discovery. Okay. Dumps a land and another Discovery. And we're just going to dump our Root Snare, I guess. So the best thing we could find is Carnage Tyrant. As long as they don't have board wipes, we're going to be all good. So, let's play Carnage Tyrant. Uncounterable, untargetable. A true monster. And I think what we'll do is we will duplicate it and then swing. So if he does have Settle the Wreckage, then we can get around that. One has Seraph of the Scales and 1 black gets them Death Touch. That's less than ideal. Well, we are going to be doing duplicates anyway, so I'll trade off a Seraph with a Carnage Tyrant if I absolutely must. So swing, they always block. We'll pay the 1 to get Death Touch. Sweet. We go through them. Down to 16. And they get 2 tokens, which is whatever. Breeding Pool tapped. New Horizons so that we have nothing in hand worth taking. And also pump up the Incubation Druid for whatever that's worth. We could do like double Quasi-Duplicate next turn, I suppose. Though I don't know if I'd want to commit that many clone effects to a deck that quite possibly runs board wipes. Dovin. Okay.
Your loss will either be a tragedy or a comedy of errors.
And they're gonna swing? Interesting. Well, Dovin is going to die. Mortify the Incubation Druid. Yep, don't care. So, we got extra lands, so we'll kill Dovin. We can't 2-turn them, so otherwise I might have decided to leave Dovin alone. Let's go Breeding Pool. And I think we just go all in. If they have a board wipe, they have a board wipe, and we're probably going to lose anyway. But at least this way means that they have to have it, Otherwise, we just present lethal. Unless they have something like Lyra, maybe. Discovery, going digging. So I would not all attack into this current situation because they do have Settle the Wreckage mana open. Instead, I'd probably just swing with one. And they've had enough. They're not even going to bluff Settle. They could have bought themselves a turn just by not playing anything there, but chose not to. Okay, so Esper Control. We're going to bring in Carnage Tyrant. It is the better one. And we'll go down the Tender Shoots. They don't seem like they're going to be all too useful. We want to bring in our Counter Magic as well as our Admiral's Order as well to fight against Settle the Wreckage. If they think that's going to get them somewhere, then we'll show them how it isn't. We'll get rid of the Ops. They are the flex slot of the deck. And I think maybe... Do we want Shaper's Sanctuary? I don't think so. I think we'll just live off Carnage Tyrants and be happy with that. We want to go... Go down the Root Snares, I guess. They're not going to be all too useful. It kind of looks like an Angel package, but at the same time, I don't think that's going to be necessary that we do anything with that. I might go up one Tender Shoot just to keep our creature count a little higher. And maybe Shaper's Sanctuary? Blink of an Eye possibly for Ixalan's Bindings. On Biogenic Ooze, I don't think that's going to be necessary. Yeah, let's just go up a Shaper's Sanctuary, I guess. And try it like that. Okay, we're in and we're on the draw. We have turn 2 Druid into a copy on Druid, or maybe even Chemisters if we get a land. I think we can take this. It's fine. Wouldn't mind some counter magic at some point, and New Horizons is okay. That means we can pump up our Druid with that. If we can get Druid down in the first place, it looks like we are going to be able to. Could see it being mortified, but who knows. Thief of Sanity for our opponent. Going into the yard. Cool. Alright, well, play Incubation Druid. I guess they were digging for land drops. Not entirely sure on that one. But shocking it in, so assuming Thief of Sanity? Yep, okay. Well. Oops. Let's see. I guess we ramp and just try to get Biogenic Ooze down really quick. So that Thief of Sanity is not too aggressive to us. Like they can steal Carnage Tyrants and maybe make clones of Thief of Sanity. That's going to be the worst part. An early Thief is a problem. So we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana next turn. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty good. All we have to do is get our opponent to tap out. We can actually repudiate that trigger if we really wanted to as well. Discards a card and gains 3. Okay, let's discard Quasi-Duplicate. We've got Replicate here. So we go land. Do not tap like that. Add 3 green here. Biogenic Ooze. And replicate the ooze. There we go. That's a board state to be proud of. So they either have to wipe their own board, or just have settle, I guess. Otherwise, they're going to be blocking pretty badly here. Could have Vraska's Contempt on one ooze, but we still have the spare. Same goes for Mortify, of course. As long as we have a spare, we're going to be okay. Deputy of Detention! Wow, that's rude. Okay. Well, 2 4/4s is fine already. And if they want to kill an ooze, they have to block with another deputy. So, hardly see that being the case, that's going to happen here. So let's swing him. Expect no blocks. Maybe a bell haunt block there, but yeah, unlikely. Alright, let's play Chemisters. We have 5 mana left, so yeah, if we were going to get something to clone there, we could have. Okay. So I think we just pass here. Use Chemisters on end step. Maybe repudiate the Thief of Sanity. I'm not entirely sure. They do have 2 of our cards now. And a Lyra. Oh, God. Uh-huh. I think we'll draw. We'll let our opponent get a... we'll get rid of Incubation Druid. We'll let our opponent get a hit here. Yeah, because I'm looking for something like Carnage Tyrant. Which my opponent cannot Deputy of Detention. Ah, negate. Sweet. So my opponent, like, hit double lands every time. Okay, so we'll play the Forest. We will Carnage Tyrant. And then I think we will Replicate. Yeah, Replicate the Carnage Tyrant. I knew I should have manually tapped. We could have easily paid for that. Oh, you silly game. Silly me for trusting you. Okay. Yeah, Shaper's Sanctuary would have been nice to come down here. If they have, like, another Deputy Detention, they can get rid of our Ooze token. Plural. More lands. They're not really getting any options, but the likelihood is that most of their options are going to be like clone spells and things like that, and counter magic, which is obviously a problem. Biogenic Ooze of their own. Yeah, that's an issue. And we just get negates. Fair enough. Well, we're going to make another Carnage Tyrant. This is all we really can do. And I think Thief of Sanity has 100% just carried them to victory here. Alright, get swinging. Best we can do. And a news token, yeah. So we're just trading off a Lyra with a Carnage Tyrant. And cool. At least we got 2 Carnage Tyrants left behind, but they have a Biogenic Ooze that's getting ever bigger. Thief of Sanity pulling all my creatures and things like that. Another Deputy of Detention. We get to draw a card at least. I guess these negates were terrible. It seems like a fully creature-focused deck. I expected to get more use out of them, but I've not identified this deck as what I thought it was, really. So we're just going to negate that Dovin, because it's probably going to be the best target we're ever going to get. I basically would just have to keep all swinging, all attacking for the rest of the game, and if our opponent ever gets ahead of us, then so be it. Another Carnage Tyrant. Swing. They do have to do some blocking here. Yeah, if we can get rid of the big Biogenic Ooze, then they're going to stop getting counters. They're at 4. We get to make another Carnage Tyrant. At the very least. So still 14 trample damage coming through. They seem to have missed the opportunity to clone at any point, but I suppose if they grab Quasi-Duplicate, the clone effect goes into my graveyard for me to use. Eldest Reborn will not cut it. We'll just attack an Incubation Druid. They can swing, and then they're going to start having to trade off, and we might actually get our Biogenic Ooze back from underneath this Deputy at this rate. Yeah, you see things like Chemisters fly into our graveyard, which is less than ideal for them. Let's draw now. Let's see what we can get. meh is what we can get. Alright, well, swing. We've got plenty of lands to discard to this Eldest Reborn, so that's the thing. So, they have to block both of these in some order, which means that Deputy of Detention should be getting us some value. So it's still taking 7. Still taking 7. Alright. So let's just get killing. They're at 1. And we're just going to pass. Actually, we could do Chemisters here, but they do have Thought Erasure, so they get to take whatever they want without us really getting a choice over it. Just going to dump the Breeding Pool. And what can they do, really? They've got 5 of our cards, which is a lot, but we've got 14 points of damage, and I know for a fact none of our cards can really solve any problems here. Okay, so they're going to go Bellhorn, go up to 4 and make us discard this Forest. So I'm kind of forced to do this now. Maybe we get something better. I just want to dig a little bit further through my deck, really. And we still get a island to discard here, which is fine. An Admiral's Order is very nice, though, if we can keep it in hand. Quasi-duplicate. No, we cannot. Alright. But we do get a quasi-duplicate on our own Carnage Tyrant. Going down to 6. 2 Growth Spirals into the yard. Incubation Druid is a perfect choice for us to discard, so swing for 14. Still taking 7. Yep, so they have to block and give us back our Biogenic Ooze. Goes down to 3. We get oozing. So, let's see, what's in our graveyard as far as targets are concerned? Biogenic Ooze, Carnage Tyrant, Incubation Druid. In theirs, they've got Deputy of Detention, so they can get their Biogenic Ooze exiled again. Maybe a Lyra to gain some life, which could be enough. I think we're going to draw with Chemisters. We got a negate. What's that worth to me? And what's the Biogenic Ooze worth as well? I don't think the Biogenic Ooze is worth much, honestly. But if I want to hold up a negate, I kind of have to pass. So I think I will. If I don't have to do anything, then I can make another Ooze token. Let's see if they go for the Deputy of Detention. So we can make an Ooze token in response or something like that. They're going to go with the Carnage Tyrant. Fair enough. So they got 5 of my cards and 1 of their own. Tender Shoot. Okay. That's rough. It's this Thief. This Thief of Sanity is actually just destroying us. It has carried our opponent throughout this game. So, I expect them to swing here. Or are they holding back? Oh, man. Well, we get to make an Ooze token. Holding back is not what I expected. So, they get a 3/3. We can Ooze and quasi-duplicate a Carnage Tyrant. So let's make a copy of Carnage Tyrant before we swing through. Because he will trade off here. We have a negate open. Using my Admiral's Orders. Negate. Unfortunately, 1 mana short of using Biogenic Ooze's trigger here. Yeah, I think we just have to swing in with one Carnage Tyrant, which is only going to deal like 1 damage if he trades off the Tyrant. Looks like he's just going to go for the puny block. Okay. So we take 2 creatures out. He blocks perfectly for damage. Uzis get bigger. I don't know if we're going to be fast enough. I think he might have us. Especially if you can start duplicating the Dryads and things like that. Thought Erasure? Yeah, sure. Doesn't really change the math or anything. And Deputy of Detention. Good God. Well, we get to draw a card, at the very least, but we're going to lose in general. Another Carnage Tyrant. Okay. How do you attack? Probably an all attack would be somewhat useful. Certainly with the Thief of Sanity anyway. I would never not swing in with that. But our opponent does not agree with that. New Horizons. Does it counter on Carney T? The problem is his Tender Shoot is just growing and growing and growing. Growth Spiral. Okay, well it's a free redraw, I suppose. We get a land. We have 1 token from the Ooze, or we have a Carnage Tyrant. I think we've just lost, honestly. Because now he can just double block with the Sapperling tokens, take 1. He still has a Carnage Tyrant left, and we have a 4/4. He swings back for lethal. I think we've just lost, really. We've actually been destroyed by our own deck, because Thief of Sanity is a thing. Maybe we need Murmuring Mystic in here, but Deputy takes out bird tokens and they get swings in anyway. It's a tough one. Yeah, I think we've lost. Shame. Well, you know what they say, you win some, you ooze some. It was very close though, very close. Maybe we could have eked out a few little points here and there, but I'm not entirely sure. So, Root Snares are kind of interesting, because that also blanks Thief of Sanity. Same goes for Blink of an Eye. We could blink our own creatures. Also, blinking Deputy of Detention is maybe something I could be interested in. These negates haven't been all too amazing, and in fact, they're kind of working against us because of Thief of Sanity. So I'm not entirely sure if we want those. We know that they're running like Doven, but that seems about it, really. Doven mortifies, but mortifies not very good against Carnage Tyrant. Yeah, so that was a bit of a bad sideboard call there, I would say. What do I want to bring in, though? We've got the Blink of an Eye as a change. I don't want to go down on my creatures that they can target, because if I just go to 4 creatures, then I lose to probably just not drawing my own creatures, which is an issue. I guess we do want something like Entrancing Melody in the sideboard, maybe over 1 negate, something like that. What 2 cards do I want to bring in? I definitely don't want the Root Snares. They will take them and use them against me, and that would be sad. I guess the Shaper's Sanctuary and 1 Murmuring Mystic. Try it like that. Okay, we're going to be in on play. This hand is sketchy. Very, very sketchy. But it does have ramp, so if we find what we want, then we're all good. If we don't, we probably just lose. I'm going to try it. I mean, it does go a little bit deeper than it appears, and we're going to have decent mana to pretty much cast whatever we want off the top of our deck. All we need to do now is just not draw any more mana accelerants, I think. And then we'll be all good. Everything else is a fine draw. Putting going down to 6. And sticking. Alright. So Duress. Let's see if you've got it. No, just Hallowed Fountain. Let's quasi-duplicate. Okay. So we're just going to Growth Spiral now. Because we can. Not necessarily because we should. So we got 4 mana next turn, so Chemisters is a nice draw. Maybe a ramp spell in the Incubation Druid because of New Horizons being a thing. That might be nice. But I think I want a creature at this point. So New Horizons, ramping up, and passing. We have a Blink of an Eye to slow down Thief of Sanity, I suppose. If they do go Shock Landing Thief, we can bounce it again. Looks like they're just passing though. More Replicate spells, okay. Well, now we have Blink with Kicker, so that's not too bad. Seraph. That's their best turn 4 play. I might actually just bounce that. Just go for the tempo play, because I really do need to draw a creature here, so going deeper into my deck seems also quite useful. And, well, we just keep drawing ramp. We can play anything now, so a Carnage Tyrant is exactly what I want to see. So we got 3, 6, 7, 8. Thought Erasure. Go for it. And take Repudiate. Yeah. Chemisters. Okay. Land creature. Seems good. Okay. Well, that's some options. I mean, Deputy of Detention is certainly not going to be good if we see that, which we almost certainly will. I'm going to Chemisters one of these quasi-duplicates. Ah, we got a Blink of an Eye though, so we can use that to make more oozes. So let's do Shaper's Sanctuary before they target our stuff. And then we can do Biogenic Ooze or Tender Shoot. It's probably Biogenic Ooze. Because that makes an ooze upon entry. So if they do Deputy of Detention, the ooze itself, we can bounce it and get another ooze token. And then on our turn, make another ooze non-token version. Hostage Taker. Alright, well, same kind of thing stands. We get to draw a card here, which is nice. Another land. Okay. Well, we're going to blink this. Actually, we'll let it go first, and then we'll blink it. Because if we bounce it there, it just never gets bounced, and we don't get ourselves a token back. So we let this happen. Wait till end step. And then just bounce Hostage Taker again. Ooze comes in. Makes some oozes. Carney T is very nice. That's going to be our duplicate target. So let's swing in. Quite a fair bit of damage. Taking our opponent to 18. Carnage Tyrant. And duplicate Carnage Tyrant. They cannot be hostage taken. And our oozes get a little bit bigger. So we have 2 duplicates on Carnage Tyrant, which goes right through Lyra. They can Deputy Detention our 2 ooze tokens to get rid of them permanently. That is an option. Also, Seraph with Death Touch is a thing. Opponent cannot keep up with the cloning. Get wrecked. That was a sweet deck from our opponent, though. I think that one's actually a new tier deck coming from one of the GPs. And yeah, it's fresh to say that a tier deck is actually quite sweet, but I do enjoy that one as a tempo steely kind of thing goes. Like the fact that our opponent got to play with our deck is I find that quite cool. So if that ends up becoming tier 1, that's going to be kind of cool. I like the look of standard if that's the case. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then be sure to like, subscribe, hit that little bell icon, all that jazz. It'll get you notifications when new videos go live in the future. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.